Hola amigos, so I'm here to present the preterite tense to you guys, the pretérito in Spanish. And the pretérito talks about the completed actions in the past. So Spanish has two simple past tenses, the preterite and the imperfect tense. We're going to study the imperfect tense later, which talks about habitual actions in the past, what you used to do on a habitual basis in the past. But this week we're going to focus on the preterite tense. The preterite tense is to refer to actions or states that the speaker views as completed in the past. Okay, let's take a look at the subject pronouns. And so we know that there are 6 different ways to conjugate a verb. And so I just want to review these with you guys really fast here, just to talk about them, just so there's no confusion. So there's 6 different ways to conjugate a verb. So this is the yo form, the to, ella, usted's one conjugation. We have the nosotros, vosotros, ellos, ellas, ustedes. And so those are 6 different ways to conjugate a verb. Let me give you an example. So the verb hablar, to talk. I'll conjugate this in the past tense. So hablé, yo hablé, tú hablaste, él habló, nosotros hablamos, vosotros hablasteis, y ellos hablaron. So hablar has 6 different conjugations. So most verbs have 6 different conjugations depending on the subject. So let's review some. AR verbs. Here are some AR verb endings, and I will go quickly over them. I just went over them with you with hablar. So here are the endings for AR verbs. These are regular verbs. Hablé, hablaste, habló, hablamos, hablasteis, hablaron. They talked to the teacher. Ellos hablaron con el profesor ayer. And so this is my past tense ending for ellos, they. Okay, let's go to ER and IR verbs. ER and IR verbs have the same endings in the past tense, in the preterite tense. And so let's take a look at these. If they're regular verbs, there are some irregular verbs that have their own conjugations that we'll have to study. Okay, so I'm going to use the verb comer, to eat. So yo comí, comiste, él comió, nosotros comimos, vosotros comisteis, ellas comieron. What did you eat last night? ¿Qué comiste anoche? Okay, so these are my endings for ER and IR verbs, and they are the same in the preterite tense. Okay, comer. Here are some examples of these verbs and the conjugations. Notice the accent marks in the yo form and the la usted form. Comí, comiste, comió, comimos, comisteis, comieron. Okay, take a look at that. And then let's take a look at abrir. It's an IR verb. It has the same endings as comer did. Abrí, abriste, abrió. Notice the accent marks in the yo form and then the la usted form. Nosotros abrimos, vosotros abristeis, y ellos abrieron. Okay, let's take a look at a regular AR verb, and this is the verb that I studied and I showed you earlier. To talk. So yo hablé, tú hablaste, él habló, nosotros hablamos, vosotros hablasteis, ellas hablaron. We talked to the teacher last night. Nosotros hablamos con el profesor anoche. Okay, then I'm going to present to you 2 irregular verbs that are used a lot in Spanish. Notice that these verbs don't have accent marks. So to go. Where did you go last night? ¿A dónde fuiste anoche? I went to the game. Yo fui al partido. So let's take a look and practice the pronunciation of this verb. Fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fuisteis, fueron. That's ir, to go. Okay, and the last one I want to present to you is Aser. And if you remember from Spanish 2, we did this one a lot. What did you do last night? What did you do over the weekend? ¿Qué hiciste durante el fin de semana? I did my homework. Yo hice mi tarea. So this is an irregular verb. Notice there's no accent marks in this. The vosotros has an accent on the E here, but in the yo form and the la usted form, it doesn't have an accent. Hice, hiciste, hizo, hicimos, hicisteis, hicieron. Okay, let's continue to the activities. And here are some actions, some conjugations that I want you guys to work on. So here we go. Look at the first one. Anoche yo a Portland. Last night I went to Portland. Yo fui a Portland. Ayer usted comprar un helado. Yesterday you bought an ice cream. Ayer usted compró un helado, accent over the O. It's the usted form of the verb. Él, ella, usted, compró. Pablo and Maria worked very late last night. Pablo and Maria trabajaron. They worked. Ellos trabajaron. Okay, the next one. You wrote a letter to your grandma. Tú escribiste. It's an IR verb, regular, iste. Okay, number 5. Marta y yo comer una hamburguesa ayer. Marta and I ate a hamburger last night. Marta y yo comimos una hamburguesa anoche. And the last one's the irregular verb hacer. Yo hacer mis quehaceres. I did my chores yesterday. I got the mic in the way, you can't see it, but I have to go and look at the sentence on my screen. So here it is. Yo hice. Notice the spelling of hice. H-I-C-E. The H is silent in Spanish. Okay, Class A, those are our verb conjugations in the past tense. We'll be working with those in activity number 1 this week. And so, nos vemos and study those verbs. Adios.